I think I'm gonna start off with this whole Elon Musk thing. Not for any other reason other than it is to me a prime example of how our levers, how the rope, the marionette game being played on each and every one of us. And if you do not feel the strings attached to you and your movements, I'm going to direct you to the strings that lead you to be outraged, lead you to buy the things that you buy, lead you to think the things that you think, and to argue about the things that you argue about. It is all somebody pulling strings. And Elon Musk has ripped the veil off. He is gotten us behind the curtain of the Wizard of Oz. Up until this point, those people have been mainly nameless and faceless. The very, very wealthy, the very, very powerful, they don't make it into onto Forbes's list because they're smart. They don't want you to know that's who they are. Now we think about the Walmarts and the Bezos and the Warren Buffetts, et cetera, but those aren't really the people that push the buttons. But Elon Musk showed something today when he made a bid for $40 billion for Twitter. $54 a share. The share has plummeted because I think he's playing a game. He did this a few months ago when he allow for Bitcoin to be used to buy Teslas because he has a heavy holding in the cryptocurrency and it drove the market. I remember it because, I got very little crypto, very little, because I know it's not really crypt but I feel like he did that. I remember the Winklevoss brothers did that as well, because that Ponzi scheme only works when the people on top can cash out and make money. And this is like virtual money anyway, when we're talking about stocks, because as you saw with Twitter, it plummeted all the way down to $43, $44 a share today. So they lost a lot of its wealth because one person who owns 9.2%, is the largest individual shareholder, made an announcement. And all leading up to this, he's been doing like, what if we took the W out of Twitter? What if we added an edit button? What if we did? No, like he's been playing games. What if we, because now I'm here. Oh, I'm going to sit on a board. No, I'm going to drop out. I'm not going to sit on the board. Now I'm going to make a bid to buy it. He's playing games. And who benefits? So I'm going to have a couple of questions I just want to throw out. Why would Twitter be worth $40 billion to Elon Musk? Or did he ever have any intentions on purchasing it? What is it worth to you, those on Twitter? Why do you use it? I'll tell you why I use it. It's free, but is it really free? Is it really free? We were talking yesterday about this very thing, and I forgot the term that was used. Who was it? Dr. Ian? The outrage. Oh, what did he say? The outrage commerce, the commodity of outrage. Twitter, first of all, is not the majority of us, but there are a lot of people on Twitter, more people on Facebook, which is another outrageous space. But the money comes from you being outraged and from you clicking on things and sharing things and talking about things and spending your time making the algorithms go. And then they know, oh, here you go. Here's an ad. Oh, we got your information. Okay, let's push this to you. Let's push this to you. Let's do this. Is it a space where things, now there have been times like the Arab Spring, and even I think in Beijing or Taiwan, we got to see some things play out. Even this war in Ukraine, we've seen some things on Twitter. A lot of people, our brother Terrell J. Starr, who's back home safely, gave us a bird's eye view through his Twitter space of what was happening on the ground. There's some very valuable things. I know that George Floyd video was shared widely through social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook. But are we using it or are they using us? I've contended on this show that there's no real Twitter of interest without Black people. There's a Twitter thing going around right now. Whose hair was laid better? Prince, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, or Queen Latifah. So today, Queen Latifah was trending for no reason. No reason. It's the dumbest thing is like Black Twitter. Hello. How about this? Every day or every other day, there's going to be a Black Twitter question about food. There's going to be a Black Twitter question about culture, and it's going to trend and it's going to drive the marketplace. How much of that money goes into the Black community? How much of that money goes into furthering Black wealth? How much of that money goes into galvanizing or cultivating or building anything of note or value? But we bring value to it. Same with TikTok, those dances that we create. Come on now. So I'm asking a question. Elon Musk is what it looks like when you go behind the curtain. The Wizard of Oz is like, oh, wait a minute. But he's out there. He's embarrassing a lot of people too. So I suspect there might be some regulations coming down on him because, dude, you're not supposed to use your inside voice outside. You're not supposed to let them know how it works. And some of us aren't even watching. We're sharing these stories about him without asking the fundamental questions. Is this for real? Is this for real? $40 billion. So now Twitter doesn't know what to do, right? They're like, well, maybe we should cut off all ties with him because he just is out of control. Is he out of control? Or is he playing the game that's always been played, but he's doing it outside where we could all see it? I'm not here for it. So I'm going to say this. I created a social media platform primarily because I've realized that there would be a need to build community, to build political might, to plan 5, 10, 20, 50 years out, to a planning space where we could plan without the watchful eyes of people who might not want people to plan. So I built it. It was a necessity. So it's there. And it's in its infancy. You know, it's not even a full 6 months. It can barely hold its neck up. It's at that stage. I don't think it's taken in solid food yet. Nubia is what I'm talking about. Narrative just turned a year last month. It's walking a little bit shaky. It's a baby. And this is how, I'm looking at, I said, I'm going to commit the next 20 years of my life to build out a platform that will hopefully for the next 100, 200, 300 years be a repository of information and knowledge. So nobody will ever be ignorant of anything that has to do with us. And also now out of that came the need for a social media platform, as we saw farmers in there, because I started having a conversation with a farmer, with a beekeeper. And then now there's all these folk in there that are growing and got seed. Shout out to Amber and her seed community, her homecoming harvest, and all of the people in there that are teachers now that have come to Nubia, and they have now, they're sharing their syllabi and they're sharing their lesson plans. And more importantly, they're building out, what does the next school look like? Okay, we got engineers in there, and we have architects, and we have lawyers, and we have regular folk who are just like, how can I participate? We have a 70-something-year-old former journalist, or still journalist, Mr. McFarland in there, about to build, and we're about to have a council of elders as we start to imagine, having a, like in the Matrix, like as we build this thing out, we need to have people who can be wise and say, well, this is the direction that we should be going, because they have the wisdom and the knowledge and the experience. See, we respect our elders. We don't toss them to the side and feel like they're useless. They actually have more value than anybody in society. So we're going to double down on our elders. But this is, to me, is that Twitter? No. So I'm on Twitter to show off my Wordle skills, which apparently is pissing a few people off. Y'all get over it. I'm just trying to keep my brain from being ashy. All right. So it's first thing after I read a little scripture, I'm going, or read a little Tikkanon and do my little meditation. I'm going to go to Wordle, Quirtle, Securtle, and Wordle and all of the other Erdles and play. Takes me 5 minutes out of my day, maybe 10 if Securtle gets a little tricky. And that's it. I'm done. I post it, and then I'm on to the next thing. I also use Twitter to check people. I might share some things, but I'm mostly retweeting and then praising Abbott Elementary. That's what I do on Twitter. Tell people how great they are. That's it. Share, retweet, engage. Oh, and during this show, we use Twitter for resources. So when we talk about a thing, like I'm sure this Elon Musk story is going to be on our Twitter page, SXM Urban View. So what I do is I go on SXM Urban View and I retweet it during the show. So if you want to know what guests we're on, hashtag Thrive Thursday, hashtag Wellness Wednesday, hashtag Foolishness Friday. You just use a hashtag, go in there, look for it. You'll see what to watch. You go in there, Foolishness Friday, and you see what the what to watch list is. We use it to disseminate the things that we're doing on this show. That's it. $40 billion. Is it worth that? I don't know. 866-801-8255. You let me know.